So it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I made a video, and I will explain that after the intro here. But today we're going to do a video on, well, some of my favorite decks. Maybe even two or three. Roll intro. So like I said, there's going to be timestamps in this video, by the way, if I didn't mention that before. Um, this is going to be a little bit of a rant, so if you want to skip over that, feel free to do so. And yeah. So the rant begins with real simple. I've had nothing but issues over the past 2 or 3 weeks trying to record stuff. And I also went on a little bit of a mini vacation, so there's also that. That's beside the point, though. So, World of Warcraft does not like to record my audio, or rather, Streamlabs does not like to record the audio of World of Warcraft, for whatever reason. Um, Minecraft refuses to be recorded. I'm not very interested in playing War Thunder at the moment. And same for Master Duel. So I have nothing installed to record. Unless I start playing Arma 3 or get Arma Reforger. But the problem with those is it takes absolutely forever to get anything decent footage. And since I don't have NVIDIA graphics cards in my computer, or a NVIDIA graphics card in my computer, I don't have Shadow Play, so I can't capture the last like 20 minutes of video or whatever. AMD has that feature too, but it's complicated and it doesn't like to work for me. I don't know why, but anyway. So yeah, that's why there hasn't been a video in a while. I either have to spend 5 hours trying to get good footage to literally fill up my hard drive, or SSD in this case, and maybe get something good, or I have to deal with audio issues or a game just refusing to be recorded. So, yeah. Anyway, rant over, I guess, and explanation, whatever you want to call it, over. Let's actually get into the profile, or profiles. I haven't really decided yet, so enjoy. So, Dragonmaids. What are they? How do they work? Etc., etc. This particular version of Dragonmaid is just a version that I've been playing that's just for fun. It's not that great. It's not meta by any means. It's just for fun, really. What Dragonmaids are, they are an archetype of dragons that have a dragon form and they have a human form. I should probably use Parlor and Lorepar for this because Chamber has that look on her face like she's doing something she shouldn't. Thanks, Konami. Anyway, so all the Dragon Maids share the same ability where at the start of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one X Dragon Maid monster from your hand or graveyard. In Parlor's case, it's a level 8. In Nurse's case, it is a level 7, I believe. Yes, level 7. Which is why Ernest is here. Only reason Ernest is here. Um, literally. So, all the little dragons share the effect at the start of the battle phase, tag out to their big form. All the big dragons share the effect at the end of the battle phase, tag out to their little form. Some of them are not, well, they're not all specific, I should say. Like this one, for example, says level 2 Dragon Maid monster. Your level 2s are Nurse and Kitchen. Oh, no. Nurse and Laundry, I think. Yeah, Nurse and Laundry. Nobody actually uses Laundry because Laundry is kind of crap, not gonna lie. Um, this is something that you played in frickin' Tier Elements. Because if it's normal or special summon, you send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So people played it in, like, Tier Elements, but, yeah. Anyway, The big forms can tag out to one of two little forms, and the little forms can tag out to one of two big forms. Parlor and Kitchen, for example, are both level 3. Kitchen can go into Lorpar, and Parlor can go into Tinkek. Even though they are, the big form of the other dragon, that's what makes them cool. Chamber is the only one that can go into a level 7 or higher Dragonmaid monster. Meaning, she can go into Ernest, or Nurse spelled backwards, basically. She can go into Tinkek. She can go into Parlor. Now she gets her own dragon form, which is Stern, which is cool. She can also go into Shiyu, or Xiao, or House, or Ladies, if Lady is in the graveyard. So that is something that Chamber has that none of the others have. She can do stuff that none of the others can. Kind of cool, if you ask me. And it's about time that she got her own freaking dragon form, which we are getting in the TCG here in about a month or two. So, let's start off with the list, shall we? And actually go through the list. I'm playing one of each of the big dragon forms, including Ernest, even though Ernest is not really that great. And I'll get to that here in a little bit. But starting off, we have one Dragonmaid Stern. Dragon fusion monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect, which is pretty good. You can only use each of the following effects of Dragonmaid Stern once per turn. You can discard this card, special summon one Dragonmaid monster from your graveyard, or banishment, except for Dragonmaid Stern. At the end of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one level 4 or lower Dragonmaid monster from your hand. Yep. This one has the reverse effect of Chamber. I was kind of hoping that they would actually add a level 5 little form, as well as maybe a level 10 main deck form or something. But they didn't. They only put a level 9. So, it's whatever. Which, I mean, it's probably a good thing, because, yeah, that's probably a good thing. Making Dragonmaids too powerful would only make the deck cost even more than what it does already. And the reason that it costs so much is because of the fact that, look at her. She's doing something that she's not supposed to. I think I've already mentioned that a couple times, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. Lorpar. Cannot be destroyed by card effect while you control a fusion monster, so this is actually good for any deck that plays fusion monsters, not just Dragonmaids. You can only use each of the following effects of Dragonmaid Lorpar once per turn. You can discard this card, then target one face-up monster on the field. Players cannot activate that target effect on the field this turn. Holy crap, that was hard to freaking say. I don't know why either. Anyway, at the end of the battle phase, which they all share, by the way, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one level 3 Dragonmaid monster from your hand. Now, the bad thing about these cards is because Chamber is one of the last cards to be made. Chamber is the current newest card, I think. Chamber and Chiyu. They're the current newest monsters for the Dragonmaid archetype. Until we get the Dragonmaid Stern and Ladies in June, I think it is, like June 15th. These were made for, specifically the level 3s and level 2s and stuff like that. They did not plan ahead and make it to where you could summon level 4s. Because Chamber is honestly the only level 4. I'm hoping for more Dragonmaid support in the future, but we'll see. Anyway, moving on. Cannot be destroyed while you control a fusion monster. Again, same effect as the last one. Quick effect, you can discard this card and target one Dragonmaid monster you control. It gains 2,000 attack points until the end of this turn. So that's pretty good. At the end of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, target special summon one level 3 Dragonmaid monster from your hand. So just like Lorpar, you can summon either of these, which is kind of nice. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. You can special summon this card from your hand by banishing one face-up dragon monster you control. That is why Striker Dragon is here. That is the only reason why Striker Dragon is here. And let's see, you can only special summon Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, or Red MD, once per turn this way. During the main phase, you can special summon one dragon monster from your hand or graveyard except for Red MD, and you can only use this effect once per turn. So, there's actually new version of Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Red Eyes Darkness Full Metal, I think it is. And I run that in this deck in the actual, like, physical version that I have, but I don't have Stern or Ladies. So there's, you know, alterations between this deck and the one that I have in person. Dark End Evaporation Dragon. You can banish one level 8 dragon monster from your extra deck, special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of its turn except dragon monsters. Pretty sure that's not going to be a problem. Anyway, let's see. You can activate one of these effects. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time doing this. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. So this is not just a dragon card or dragon support card. It is fusion support in general, but you need a level 8 dragon monster into your extra deck. Target one other attack position monster on the field. Make this card lose exactly 500 attack and defense. If you do, destroy that monster. You can only use each effect once per turn. Generally what I do with this is I actually use the first effect and fuse it away with a little dragon. Light in Sublimation Dragon. I think I pronounced that right. You can banish one level 8 dragon monster from your extra deck. Special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except for dragon monsters. Same thing as the last one. During the main phase, you can fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. I don't know why it's so different than the Dark End. It would be better if they had to just copy the effect. But whatever. Anyway. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can make this card lose exactly 500 attack and defense. If you do, that opponent's monster loses 1500 attack. That's pretty good. You know, this card loses 500 attack and defense, your opponent loses 1500. And it's not until the end of the turn. It is permanent. So that's actually pretty good. You can only use each effect of Light In Dragon once per turn. Now we get into the little dragons. Chamber Dragonmaid. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Dragonmaid spell or trap from your deck to your hand. At the start of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand. If you do, special summon one level 7 or higher Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. Lorpar. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send one Dragonmaid card from your deck to the graveyard, except for Parlor. It's Foolish Burial. And at the start of the battle phase, you tag this one out to a level 8. I've already gone over that. Kitchen. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Dragonmaid monster from your deck to your hand, except for Kitchen. Then send one Dragonmaid monster from your hand to the graveyard. At the start of the battle phase, tag out for level 8. Good old Lebellion. Cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by tributing one level 6 or higher Dark Dragon monster, which is kind of neat. You can only special summon the Bestial Lebellion once per turn this way. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, add one bestial monster from your deck to your hand, except Libellium. During the main phase, you can place one branded continuous spell or trap from your deck face up on your field. So, yeah. Then, of course, we have the good old Magnamut. Or, not Magnamut, Druisworm, which is at 1 now, by the way. Which is honestly kind of annoying, because they just keep screwing over dragons, because people abuse them so much, but whatever. And he's $12. You can target one light or dark monster in either graveyard, banish it, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. If this card, this is a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster, which, yeah, that's weird. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one special summon monster your opponent controls, send it to the graveyard. So what that means is you don't destroy it. So cards that say can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects are actually affected. So, for example, let's say they have, what's a card that can't be destroyed? I don't know the name of the card off the top of my head, but let's say that they have, a card that just says cannot be destroyed by opponent card effect. Or destroyed by battle. Okay, fine. You send this into battle, it dies, then it sends the card to the graveyard. It doesn't destroy it, it just sends it. It doesn't tribute it, it just sends it. That's how that works. Anyway, moving on. One of the best searchers of the deck. You can target one light or dark dragon monster in either graveyard, banish it. And if you do, special summon this card from your hand. Just like Druisworm. This is a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. If this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect during the end phase of this turn. Add one dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except for Magnamut. Pretty good. Bestial Sarnair. You can target one light or dark monster in either graveyard, banish it, special summon this card, blah blah blah. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send one bestial monster or one branded spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard, except for Sarnair. Now, I usually only play one Sarnair because, well, it's not really that helpful. It's really not that helpful, honestly. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on from that, we have Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. When a card effect is activated, or card or effect is activated that includes the following effects. You can quick effect discard this card, negate that effect. Add a card from deck to hand, negate. Special summon from deck, negate. Send card from deck to graveyard, negate. Yeah. Assault Synchron, a card that used to be like $50 frickin' dollars. And now it's like 2, which is weird. During your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand, then take 700 points of damage. Also, while it's face up on the field, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except Synchro monsters. If a face-up dragon Synchro monster you control is tributed or banished, except during damage step, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of those monsters and special summon it. Okay. Of course, we have the classic Black Metal Dragon, the best normal summon for getting into the Red Eyes package. You can target one Red Eyes monster you control, equip this card, equip this monster from your hand or field to that target. Even looks like a little Red Eyes Darkness Dragon, or Red Eyes Dragon. It gains 600 attack. If this card is sent from field to the graveyard, you can add one Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand. There's also, like, with the Rarity Stampede coming out, there's actually several different variants of the card now, and there's some high rarity of it as well. It's still actually cheap, though. It's like under $1 for them. But I'm considering actually getting a couple playsets and actually blinging out a deck. Probably including Dragonmaids. Definitely going to be doing that for Dragon Link because it's Dragon Link. Anyway, moving on. Dragonmaid changeover. Fusion summon one Dragon Fusion monster from your extra deck using I can't freaking talk. Fusion summon one Dragon Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. There. Don't know why it was so hard to talk. While this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Dragonmaid monster you control, add this card to your hand, and if you do, return that monster to the hand. Actually, a pretty useful card. Dragonmaid Hospitality. There's actually an alt art of this, and it's like $25. And it's kind of annoying because I want the alt art. Special summon one Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. Then you can send one Dragonmaid monster with the same attribute but different level from your deck to the graveyard. This literally lets you get into ladies early on. Branded Regain. If a light or dark monster is banished except during damage step, you can target one of those monsters, place that monster on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, draw one card. You can only use this effect of Branded Regain once per turn. Once per turn, if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, except during damage step, you can target one bestial monster in your graveyard and special summon it. That's actually really good. The big dragon that we missed. Dragonmaid Ernest. Cannot be destroyed by card effect while you control a fusion monster, which is pretty neat. You can only use each of these effects once per turn. Quick effect, you can discard this card, special summon one level 4 or lower Dragonmaid monster from your hand, which this one actually, for whatever reason, actually takes Chamber into account, which is weird. I think this one actually came out with Chamber, not sure. At the end of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand. If you do, special summon one level 2 Dragonmaid monster. Dragonmaid Tidying. Target one dragon monster you control and one card your opponent controls, or in their graveyard. Return them to the hand, which is kind of nice. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, but return it to the hand during the end phase. You can only use each effect, or you can only use one Dragonmaid Tidying effect per turn, and only once that turn. Dragonmaid Nurse. Or Nurse Dragonmaid. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one level 4 or lower Dragonmaid monster in your graveyard, except for Nurse, and special summon it. At the end of the battle phase, or at the start of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand. If you do, special summon one level 7 Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard. And I'm starting to lose my voice. That's great. Then, of course, we go back to Tidying, and then we go to Branded Beast. Once per turn during the main phase, if you control a bestial monster, you contribute one dragon monster, then target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. During the end phase, you can target one branded continuous spell or trap in your graveyard and place it face up on your field. You can only use each effect once per turn. That's not bad. Okay. So, had to take a drink there. On to the extra deck. We have Shiyu. One Dragonmaid monster plus one level 5 or higher dragon monster. Which is one of the main reasons that these two are here. Honestly. Probably the only reason. During each standby phase, you can special summon one level 9 or lower Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can say no, essentially, and destroy that card. However, there's something that's really stupid about this, the way that they have this set up. You negate the activation. You do not negate the effect. So, for example, where Ash Blossom here negates the effect of a card, it does not negate the activation of a card. It just negates the effect. So, for example, great example of this is Pot of Greed. I play Pot of Greed. Ash Blossom, no. Okay? That effect has been negated. This just negates the activation. So if pot of greed read once per turn, or you can only activate one per turn, this negates it. You can't activate another. However, if it says you can only use the effect once per turn, because you negate the activation of the card, they can activate another one. It's really stupid, it's really weird, it's really confusing. I don't even know that if I got it right or not, but it's annoying. Anyway, moving on. Light Darkness Dragon Lord. 1 level 8 Light Dragon Monster plus 1 level 8 Dark Dragon Monster. So, these two. Must be fusion summoned. While face up on the field, this card is also Dark Attribute. Once per chain, this is mandatory unfortunately. Once per chain, if a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated, quick effect, this card loses exactly 1,000 attack and defense. If it does, negate that activation. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can target one dragon monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Unfortunately, the way that this is worded is it is literally mandatory. So, where Ash Blossom and Shiyu is you could or you can, this is you have to. Once per chain. So, the way around this is literally play a card you don't care about, this chains to it, chain to that, play the card that you care about. Or you can do what a lot of people do on Master Duel and play 3 cards that you don't care gets negated, and then just play a 4th. Because, yes, this will activate to try and negate it, but because it can't lose 1,000 attack and defense, it doesn't work. I really wish they had made it where this is just once per turn instead of once per chain. Or made it so that you can choose to activate the effect. But, no, of course not. They didn't. The alt art of Dragonmaid House, or House Dragonmaid. 1 Dragonmaid monster plus 1 dragon monster. Once per turn, during the standby phase, you can target one other Dragonmaid monster you control. Special summon 1 Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position whose level is 1 higher or 1 lower than that card. When another face-up dragon monster you control returns to the hand, except during damage step, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy it. So, for example, when you tag out Parlor to Lorpar, target a monster on your opponent's side of the field, blow it up. Very simple. This one is the new fusion monster, and it's actually really good. 2 Dragonmaid monsters with the same attribute but different levels. So, for example, Parlor and Lorpar. They're both wind. Or Stern and Chamber, because they're both dark. Must first be fusion summoned from your extra deck by banishing the above material, or above monsters, 1 each from your field, 1 from your graveyard. And you can only use each of the following effects of Lady's Dragonmaid once per turn. If this card is special summoned, which is how you literally summon it, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Dragonmaid monster from your deck. Okay? During the standby phase, you can fusion summon 1 Dragon Fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from your field and or banishment to the graveyard, or into the deck. Yeah. So you get to contact fuse, basically. You normal summon Parlor. Normal summon Parlor, and when she's normal summoned, you can send a Dragonmaid card from your deck to your graveyard. So you normal summon Parlor, send Lorpar, contact fuse by banishing into Ladies. Then, this lets you special summon 1 level 4 or lower Dragonmaid monster from your deck. Then you get to do Chamber. You get to use Chamber, which is awesome. Like, you can flood the field with this a lot easier now with these cards. Anyway, moving on. Warlord Furious Dragon. Literally the only reason that he's here is just for banishment bait or banishment fodder for these two. That's it. That's literally it. So, he really doesn't matter. But anyway, quick effect, you can target one monster you control and one card your opponent controls, destroy them. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Dark Link monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Nobody actually plays this card, but it's actually pretty decent. Uh, anyway, when you special summon it, it can't activate its effect this turn, and you can only use this effect once per turn, but it's kind of fine. It's not a bad card, it's really not, but it's just not great. Now we get into the synchros. Bestial Dissipator. 1 tuner, or 1 plus tuner, plus 1 non tuner dragon monsters. Okay? Specifically, dragon monsters. They need to do this more often when it's a frickin' dragon. Like Borreload Savage Dragon. It needs to say requires a dragon monster because it's just. I'm still annoyed that they banned that because now it screws over the one card in Rocket. Like one card for them. Not that I played that card, but you know, it's still annoying. Anyway, I can't think of the card off the top of my head, but you know. Anyway, you can target one banished light or dark monster, special summon it to your field. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can target one banished card, shuffle it into the deck, and then if it was shuffled into your deck, destroy that monster. If it was shuffled into your opponent's deck, negate the activation. This card is actually good. Like, it is actually really good. And it's not that hard to make. All you need is Bestials, plus XL Synchron, or XL Synchro, and Assault Synchron. Or Lebellion and Assault Synchron. Your choice. You can also play Chaos Angel in here, but I don't really care for it that much. Anyway. Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. This is literally only here again, mainly for level 8 banishment. This card's name becomes Red Dragon Archfiend while on the field or in the graveyard. Once per turn, you can destroy as many other special summon effect monsters on the field as possible with an attack less than or equal to this card. Then inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent for each. That's actually a decent effect, but that's not why it's here. Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner monster. Generic as fuck. If this card is synchro summoned, which is how you're going to summon it, you can special summon one level 2 or lower tuner monster from your graveyard, which is why you use Assault Synchron. During the main phase, quick effect, you can tribute this card, special summon one Stardust Dragon from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. Then immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using monsters you control as material for the rest of this turn. Oh, I forgot the dot thing. For the rest of this turn, the monsters synchro summoned by this effect are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Not bad. You can only use each effect once per turn. The Anti-Zeus. 2 level 12 monsters, which is very difficult to do. Like, you can't even get 2 Nibiru's on the field for this. So, getting 2 level 12s on the field, that's kind of difficult. During the turn or turn after your opponent special summons 2 or more monsters from the extra deck, you can also Xyz summon this card by using one monster you control with the highest attack. Your choice if tied. Transfer its material to this card if it is a Xyz monster. However, you don't have to use an Xyz monster for that. And it doesn't matter what level, it doesn't matter what rank. Your opponent summons twice, special summons twice. You can, then on your turn, use one of your monsters to Xyz summon into this. Yeah. Anyway, if you do, you cannot normal or special summon monsters for the rest of this turn. While this exceeds summon monsters on the field, neither player can activate the effects of monsters with 3,000 or more attack. This is anti-Zeus. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, return one monster from the field to the hand. Including yourself, by the way. Let's see. King Atum. Heretic Dragon King Atum. 2 level 6 dragon monsters. Once per turn, detach one material from this card, special summon one dragon monster from your deck, and make its attack 0. So it's just like Seals, except for it's actually got attack and defense, and actually more useful, to be honest with you. This card cannot attack during the turn you activate this effect. So if you can actually do this turn 1, then, yeah, you're pretty good. Speaking of Seals, here is Seals. If I can actually click on the damn thing. 2 dragon monsters, doesn't matter what level. Once per turn. If this card is in the extra monster zone. If this card in the extra monster zone. Quick effect, tribute. Okay, I'm having a hard time reading here. For whatever reason. Kind of brain farting. Once per opponent's turn. If this card is in the extra monster zone, quick effect, you contribute one monster from your hand or field. Return one face-up card on the field to the hand. If this card is tributed, special summon one dragon monster from your hand or deck and make its attack 0. Attack and defense 0. You can only use this effect once per turn. Then we have Striker Dragon, which is not really used for anything at all. So, yeah. If this card is link summoned, you can add one Boot Sector launch from your deck to your hand. We don't play any of the rocket stuff, so there's no need for that. So yeah, that's the deck profile. Anyway, I will show you what I mean real quick about how easy it is to actually flood the field. Alright, so perfect hand here. Absolutely perfect. So you start off with Dragonmaid Hospitality. You special summon Dragonmaid Chamber. You send Stern. Then, of course, you activate Chamber. I'll go ahead and grab that. Okay. Now, you can contact fuse, basically, into ladies. So you just go 1 and 2. Right there. Activate ladies effect. Special out parlor. Go ahead and send Lorpar. You can actually go ahead and do this. Use this and go into Shiyu. Go 1 and 2. And let's see. Set 1 and pass. So you have 2 effects here. Have 1. And 1 and 2. The Shiyu. And then you have Shiyu effect. Special summon. Let's see, let's do that. You can then negate. Summon. Tidying. Return this to the hand. And that spell to the hand. Unfortunately, because that was all during the standby phase. Yeah. Normal summon. Let's send you. Then you can contact views. 1 and 2. And yeah. I mean, this is just, you go to battle, you tag out, smack, smack, win. Alright, so that's how easy it is to flood the field and stuff with this deck. Now, if you're playing against a meta deck, of course, it's going to be more challenging than that, but that was just an example of, like, how you can actually get this deck on the field with the new cards, and it's actually really good. Like, it makes the deck good enough to where it's actually able to do more than just normal summon effect pass, you know? Because before, and still kind of is the case, uh, this deck got stopped by Ash Blossom, it got stopped by Imperm, it got stopped by pretty much anything. Because it's a deck that was made in, I think, 2012, 13, something like that, 14, I don't know. Could be later than that, could be like 2016, 17. But yeah, it's actually a fun deck to play. The branded variant of it, I'll touch on that real quick. This variant of it is also pretty good and pretty fun to play, and like, it doesn't really necessarily play like Dragonmaids, but it doesn't play like branded. It plays weird. You have the option of playing like the branded stuff or the Dragonmaid stuff, and it's actually quite good. One thing to note about this, though, is because of the fact that this dragon, literally in the name, Mirror Jade the Ice Blade Dragon, is a worm, not a dragon. So, that can kind of screw you over. Just keep that in mind if you want to play the branded version. Also, Dragoon here is a spellcaster. So, yeah. But honestly, I like both versions of the deck. I think this is probably the better version of the deck. Just because it's a little more, uh, probably just a little more competitive than the other Dragonmaid deck. Because it has, more options. However, it's still very limiting because Dragonmaids are relying on their normal summon or special summon, and it can be kind of difficult to actually get anywhere with this deck. But it's still a fun deck. It's still capable of, doing quite a bit, and yeah. But anyway, that's the video that I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you thought. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing and hit the little bell icon and all that good stuff. Anyway, see you in the next one.